All right, Dean says, with comments like you can spam the hell out of IFTTT properties being used in this community, how careful do we have to be with link velocity and link types when spamming things like Google Drive Doc with our properties in and our about.me pages, which also which out of the main list contain do follow links? You know, we probably should have a resource somewhere that states whether they're follow or no follow. We don't have that, Dina, because really it doesn't matter. I don't really particularly sweat that too much, because whenever I'm building links to our IFTTT network properties, I just build them to all the properties in the network, not just to the ones with do follows. However, it is beneficial to know which ones are do follows, and typically I have the go-to ones like Blogger and WordPress.com and that kind of stuff that are do follow links. That, you know, I'll use strategically with, you know, spam or with PBN type links and that kind of stuff. But we probably should make a list of that, or make a note of it in the IFTTT account workbook template so that you guys know which ones they are. If we can make a note of that, guys, we can get somebody to do that for us, one of our VAs or something.
Yeah, we'll discuss on the back end. I just have concerns since some of that stuff changes, but I guess it'd be kind of
that's true.
At your own risk. Like, this is what it is at the time of published, you know, be sure to check.
Yeah, we might do that. Just add like another column to the network or the network workbook guys, and put, you know, follow, no follow, so, something like that in there, just so you guys know. We can get a VA to do that. So maybe we'll have that done by this time next week, Dean. As far as spamming the properties, okay, just keep in mind, you know, I look at any type of link building as spam pretty much, except for like guest posting, you know, where you're creating real content. Pretty much any type of link building tool is a spam link, in my opinion. And that's just the terminology that I use for any type of link building that isn't 100% manual, like manual content with you know, putting links into content manually, that kind of stuff. Any kind of tools or whatever, I just call that spam. So don't let that confuse you. But with the drive stacks, you can pretty much spam them with anything, and it's not really going to hurt it, because we've gotten pretty crazy with those and had some really good results with it. With your network properties, your tier 1 branded network properties, I always like to follow Hernan's guidelines on that. So Hernan, you want to mention how you do it?
Yeah. Basically, we should send a handful of links, and this is I would say the process or the framework that we give our VAs or data or, you know, whoever is building links at that point, is that they should only send a handful of contextual links, usually to the properties, you know, to the IFTTT properties. So as not to spam them as well, because as we keep mentioning, you can spam the hell out of them, but the reality is that, you know, they are branded properties, so you need to take care of them, and you want them to be, you know, they can generate a sale as well, so you need to be careful. So we should send a handful of links, maybe, you know, from 50 to 150, something like that, links, contextual links, and then we spam the hell out of those contextual links, you know. So we are putting some kind of buffer in between the actual the property, whatever it is, and the spam. And also I found we have found actually best results with doing that instead of just spamming, you know, Twitter profile. If you put, let's say, 100 contextual backlinks between your spam and the Twitter profile will be much more powerful. The metrics will say so, you know, it will get indexed more easily. So I mean, for example, from spam itself, only from spam itself, maybe you can get it to, I don't know, I don't want to get into metrics, but, you know, you can get it to a trust flow of 5. But if you go to this recipe of a handful of contextuals backed with spam, you can get it to 10, 15, 20 trust flows. So you need to have that in mind. I mean, metrics are higher. The property becomes more powerful following these kind of guidelines. You can Of course, you can experiment yourself with velocities and those kind of things, but just be careful and just send a handful of links.
Yeah. And so when you guys, if you order a link building service from us inside of SerpSpace, it's the same thing. Like, that's what we do, is we will build a handful of the targeted links, contextuals, like what Hernan's mentioning, to your tier 1 properties or your citations, whatever it is, your target URLs. And then we throw the kitchen sink spam behind those. But that's really why we do it that way, because it's much more effective and safer as well. Okay.